Welcome to the point of view. Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys went to church and had a great talk with the Lord. I hope y'all had a great time in church. I hope y'all Sunday is going good with all the sports, WNBA on, as well as the NBA Finals come on tonight. I'm your host, DDE80, aka Mike D, aka 13th Wonder of the World, aka Mike DZ. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Love you, man. M Breezy, love you, little homie. Naya, I love you, niece. I love my sister. And thank all y'all for tuning in to the Point of View on this Sunday. This is tonight, Game 7, the greatest message in sports business, especially when you're watching sports, is Game 7, as well as Game 5 in WNBA. But the greatest games and the greatest talks is Game 7. And if you remember, there's been some great Game 7 NBA championships. Speaking of one, let's talk about the last one I think was Game 7 between the Lakers, the Cavaliers and the Warriors, Game 7, where LeBron and Kyrie just took over that game and won the championship in the last 2 minutes of the game. And when LeBron brought that championship to Cleveland, him and Kyrie as well. I think that's the last Game 7 finals that we've had, because I remember most of them been over with in either 6, 5, over the last, 10 years? Yeah, there's only been Game 7. This has been an interesting NBA Finals between OKC and the Indiana Pacers. Do not be surprised if the Pacers come out and win this championship, guys. But I have an inkling that the OKC Thunder is going to win their first championship tonight, because I believe that they did not play up to par in Game 6 because they did not want to win the championship in Indiana. That's what I think. I think tonight you're going to see a crisper SGA, a crisper Jalen Williams. You're going to see more out of their bench. You're going to see more out of their role players. Indiana is going to have to just outmatch OKC. That's the only way they're going to win. They got to outplay them. They got to outmatch OKC. Because if OKC comes out as gangbusters, and if that game gets out of hand before time, the finals are over, folks. OKC's going to win that thing by a landslide. But Indy has heart. And if Tyrese Halliburton can go out there and the only way they're going to also win the Pacers, Halliburton is going to have to put up more than 14 and 7 points. He's going to have to help Siakam score more points. That's the only way they're going to win tonight. My gut feeling says OKC wins the championship tonight. Vegas is going with OKC. Vegas went with OKC last game, and OKC dropped the ball. I don't think SGA and them are going to drop the ball twice, not against this team. Not as good as Indy is and as good as they've been all season, I don't think they're going to drop the ball tonight. I think OKC wins the championship later. I do want to get back up and try to watch it, but I have to rest because I do have to go to my job tonight, my other job tonight. So, yeah, that's going to be pretty tough talk about. And I was supposed to have been talking about it, but I haven't done nothing on Instagram Live yet, and I'm sorry for that. And, folks, I'm going to try to do better next season with this posting on IG Live with Sports Talk. Speaking of sports talk, speaking of the OKC Thunder, one of their greatest legends of all time, Kevin Durant, who had been to the NBA Finals, who went to the NBA Finals over 13 years ago when they played the Miami Heat, LeBron James, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh. It was him, James Harden, Serge Ibaka, and Russell Westbrook, of course, was on that team that got destroyed in 5 games to the Miami Heat. Kevin Durant has just been about 2 hours ago, ladies and gentlemen. I think it was like 2 hours ago. Kevin Durant has been traded from Phoenix to the Houston Rockets for Jalen Green, the 10th pick, and Dillon Brooks. Dillon Brooks will be a Phoenix Suns along with Jalen Green. Why do I think this is a smart move? Because Jalen Green now can help Devin Booker. Dillon Brooks can help Devin Booker. So what does that do for the Houston Rockets? And I'll tell you why I think this is going to happen. I don't think it's going to help them win a championship, but I think it will help them contend a little better. They will get out of the first round this year with a Kevin Durant, because you still got Son Gun, you still got all these other guys out there, Smith and Fred, who played against KD in the finals in 2019. So you still got Fred, and you still got Son Gun, and you still got the Thompson boy. So you still got a roster of guys that can boost your confidence and boost your team to a high playoff team. This is great for Kevin Durant, and I'll tell you why. He's going back to Texas, where he played college ball at. He's going to fit in with what the Rockets are doing. Udoka is going to be absolutely great for him. And we're going to see how far the Rockets can get. The Rockets may now, listen to me closely, unless OKC takes a downslide after this season, next season they go on a downslide, the Houston Rockets are going to be one of the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. Now, where's the disappointment in this? I'll tell you. The Knicks could have got Kevin Durant. I don't think they wanted to trade Karl Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant. I think they probably were going to keep Karl Anthony Towns for Kevin Durant. I don't think the Knicks wanted to trade the rest of the guys. The Knicks, they passed up on KD. Guess who else passed up on KD? The Dallas Mavericks passed up on KD, because I think that the Mavericks did not want to trade Gafford or PJ Washington or any of those guys out there that had value to their name. That's why I don't think that trade went for him to go to Dallas, because he could have reunited with Clay, and he could have reunited with Kyrie, and he could have reunited with Anthony Davis. So that would have been a 4-head monster if Klay Thompson would have, which I know he was going to re-sign with Dallas. It's crazy, man. Why did he not go to San Antonio? Maybe because of De'Aaron Fox. And these are just me. This is just my predictions. I don't know what happened. I don't know why Kevin Durant didn't go to San Antonio. It would have fit the bill with him, Sniper, and Victor. That would have been a great team. But I'm thinking they probably didn't want to get rid of Castle or any of those other boys. I don't think that's why they didn't make the trade. So he goes to Houston. Houston gave up little of nothing to get him. And I'll tell you what, the Rockets got over on the Phoenix Suns, in my book, because they do get the number 10 pick if I'm not mistaken, because the Suns do have a high draft pick, because the Suns did not even make the play-in last year. So yes, in my book, the Rockets got over on the Suns, because I do believe that either Phoenix or Houston has a high draft pick, if I'm not mistaken. But this is going to be interesting, folks. Kevin Durant has been traded, to the Houston Rockets. He's back in Houston. The fans of H-Town going to love to see KD. You might see KD at the Minute Maid Park now with an Astros jersey on. This is a great move by him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's going to re-sign for at least 2 seasons with them. If he can play until he's like 39 years old, that would be great for the business for him. But the thing about it is, where does he go now? He's been going from team to team. He has not won a championship. He's been in 4 NBA finals. 4. He's 2 for 2 in the NBA finals. So, what happens now with Kevin Durant? Does Kevin Durant get a 3rd championship with Houston? They possibly can get it. But I wonder how he's feeling about seeing his old OKC team in the finals, and they could be on the cusp of winning the championship. I wonder how Paul George feels seeing the Pacers, who he played for a long time, and the Thunder playing for a championship. Because you guys got to remember this. The Clippers would have probably been an NBA champion now if they would have kept SGA. They traded Paul George for SGA. They didn't know what they were doing at that time, but now they're kicking themselves in the behind and wonder, man, we could have kept him. Because they have not been on the ball since this happened. Clippers have been close, but they haven't been close enough. They got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. That's because they were matched up against a team that was a little bit more superior. I will say this. Denver was a little bit more superior than them. That's the only reason why they lost in the first round. I guarantee you, if they would have played somebody else in the first round, they probably would have gotten to the second round. And I don't mean no disrespect to the Clippers. I don't mean no disrespect to the Lakers. The Lakers, right now, they need to figure out what they need to do with their roster. LeBron time is almost up. And if you want this man to win a 5th championship, you need to try to figure out a way to maximize the rest of the time that he has if I'm the Lakers. But the problem is, there's not a lot of teams want to sign with the Lakers. There's not players, don't want to go to the Lakers. Unless you're going on a budget cut, that's the only way you're going to go to the Lakers. Nobody's not going to get paid a huge deal with the Lakers. Luka took a discount. The Dallas Mavericks robbed him of a discount. Robbed him of paper by making him sign a discount with the Lakers when he got traded there. He's going to be there. What's going to happen is they're going to ride this wave with LeBron for about either next season, this season, coming up, and next season. Because I do believe that LeBron James is going to be out of the league by the time he's 43 years old. He's not going to play until 45. That's not happening. He's not Tom Brady. He's not going to do that. I think he will be out of the game either this season coming up or next season. If this is his last season in the league, the Lakers need to figure out a way to try to help him win a championship. That's just all I can say. But KD's on his way to Houston. I'm quite sure the jerseys are going to be printed out. They're going to be made. And you're going to be seeing a lot of people rocking those KD Houston jerseys. And it's crazy because all three of the Thunder that were in the NBA Finals last year are now have all played with Houston. Kevin Durant is finna start playing for Houston. Russell Westbrook, he played for Houston. And of course, James Harden had a long-term, about 7-8 years with Houston as well. So, yeah, those three guys have been a part of the Houston organization. So the Rockets get fuel with KD. The NBA Finals are going to be fuel. One team's going to go home hoisting the trophy. The other one is going to come up short. One of them is going to be disappointed. The other one is going to be happy. So we'll see what happens with that tonight. It'll only be one. Ain't no tie in the NBA Finals. Only can be one. Hopefully we'll find out who that is. We will find out who that is later on tonight as the NBA Finals come on. All right, let me talk a little bit about wrestling, about Monday Night Raw tomorrow. It will be Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Jade Cargill is going to beat Roxanne Perez. And I think we will see Asuka versus Jade Cargill at Night of Champions. Also tomorrow, Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. So Jey Uso goes up against Cody Rhodes tomorrow. Jay's going to lose. He's going to lose. Cody's going to win. And we're going to see Cody versus Randy at Night of Champions, where Randy Orton is going to lose to Cody Rhodes, because here is the thing. That matchup is not going to happen anymore between Cody Rhodes and John Cena and Randy Orton. He's already beaten him. They're not going to make that match again, guys. Not on Cena's retirement. It's not going to happen. A lot of people are saying that Goldberg's probably going to lose to Gunther. It'll be shocking if Bill Goldberg wins the title from Gunther and Seth Rollins cashes in on Goldberg. That could happen. But I'm telling you all what's happening. I think Cody Rhodes is going to win King of the Ring, and I think they're going to set up the match between him and John Cena at SummerSlam. Because they have to have a big match, because they're doing 2 nights of SummerSlam. So it's going to be a toss-up. I do believe Jade is going to beat Roxanne Perez. And I do believe it's going to be Jade versus Asuka in the tournament. Let me say 2 scenarios that could happen. Say Jade beats Roxanne, because I do believe Roxanne is probably going to start teaming up with Raquel to defend the women's tag team titles. Let's say, for instance, and I'm going to say this. Let's say this for instance. Let's say Jade beats Roxanne and goes up against Asuka. Now, there's two scenarios that could happen here. Let's say Asuka beats Jade. Then guess what the main event is going to be at SummerSlam? It's going to be Io Sky versus Asuka for the Women's World Championship. Guess what happens? Asuka wins the title for the 5th time. Do I think that Damage Control could go up against Damage Control? Absolutely. Here's why. It'll be a fresh matchup and a fresh situation. to have the Empress of Tomorrow go up against the Sky Girl, Io Sky. That could happen. That's one scenario. Here's the other scenario. Say Jade beats Asuka at Night of Champions, which I think could possibly 8 times out of 10 happen. Guess what happens with that? Then that means Tiffany Stratton goes up against Jade at SummerSlam. And if I'm WWE, there is no way you do not put the title on Jade. Jade wins, then cashes in comes Naomi, and Naomi wins the title. Or she goes for the title and loses. Just imagine what happens if she's not successful winning the Money in the Bank. It could happen, man. It could happen. It could happen. So I'm just saying, these are scenarios because usually SummerSlam, that's when they usually cash in. When women cash in their briefcase. Because most of the time it beats the women that cashes in the briefcase before the men's do. Unless your name is Kane and you cash in the same night and become the world champion over Rey Mysterio. Beats like that. But those are the two scenarios. Because everybody wants to see Asuka go up against Io Sky. Io Sky has not been defending the title since she won the title at WrestleMania. She has not really been in too many matches since the night after WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken, where she went up against Stephanie Vaquera and had a little tag team match with him a couple of weeks after that. But that's it. Io Sky has not really been fighting anybody. Hasn't really been on the show fighting anybody. So it's time for her to lose in my book because she's been champion for what, 7 months now? Close to it, right? Something like that. 5 months, something like that. It's time for her to lose the title. She's not defending the title against anybody. So we'll see what happens with this tomorrow night on Raw because all tomorrow is going to be, building up the King of the Ring situation, the King of the Ring tournaments and things like that. Some of the great King of the Rings of the past have been mostly champions, besides Billy Gunn and Ken Shamrock in my book and Owen Hart. Bret Hart was a champion. Of course, he was a world champion. Kurt Angle won the title. Triple H, even though he was in a doghouse at that time, he still became the world champion. You look at guys look at Nia Jax, who won the Queen of the Ring champion. Zelina Vega won the Queen of the Ring, but she only title she got out of it as a singles title was the Women's U.S. title. She did win a tag team title. Edge won the King of the Ring. Sheamus won the King of the Ring. Booker won the King of the Ring. They all became champions, world champions at that. William Regal didn't win the world championship, but he was the Intercontinental champion and the general manager of Raw at one time. That was crazy. Wade Barrett won the King of the Ring. He was just one of the best Intercontinental champions there were at that time. I'm just naming a couple of. Mabel won the King. He didn't win a championship when he won. The Macho Man Randy Savage was a King of the Ring, if I'm not mistaken. They called him the Macho King. You had some great kings back in the day, great King of the Ring winners and things like that was able to win. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Austin 316 era started after he became the King of the Ring. Ken Shamrock, tag team Intercontinental champion out of the mix. He didn't win a world title. Brock Lesnar, when he won the King of the Ring, he became the WWE champion when he beat The Rock at SummerSlam that year. It was so many of them. I mean, there's so many guys. Xavier Woods won the King of the Ring, but he didn't win nothing out of it. But he just got called the King of the Ring, but he's been the tag team champion. And I know that he's looking to become a singles champion. And I think he will one day. He'll probably become a United States Intercontinental Champion one day, hopefully, for Xavier Woods. But those are some winners of the King of the Ring. That was very, 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 very good. Being King of the Ring as well as the Queen of the Ring. Very, very important to win that because it does something for your career. Some people it don't do nothing for them, but some people it does a lot for their career. So we'll see what happens, with the moving pieces of this as we get ready for Night of Champions, Saudi Arabia, which is next week. Like tonight, the NBA Finals. WNBA is on right now. Major League Baseball as well. And I'm going to sign off because I want everybody to enjoy the rest of their Sunday. God bless you. God keep you. I'm out. I love all y'all. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.